Once in a while, a piece of tech comes along that solves a problem I didn't know I had. And this is it. Real quick, I know that I've been behind on making videos for you guys. I went on vacation in early December and I came back with COVID, so it's been this whole 3-week period of just trying not to die. And if you don't know, this is actually my full-time job as of right now. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that little subscribe button, maybe becoming a member, I would really appreciate it. So this was actually gifted to me by the wonderful folks at Elgato. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I am incredibly happy to be able to review this. I own 2 Stream Deck XLs, but they aren't like this. Stream Deck XL, Stream Deck Plus. They look a little different. So the obvious difference here is going to be the 4 knobs that you see at the bottom of the Stream Deck Plus. 8 buttons at the top and a swipeable touchscreen in between. The dials are kind of game changers though. These dials can not only control your mix, but they can also be set as hotkeys. There's actually 3 hotkeys per dial, so you can set it to go clockwise, counterclockwise, and once you press in, that's a 3rd hotkey. That's 12 hotkeys just right here. But there's also a feature called dial stacking, which allows you to set up multiple hotkeys per dial. That is a lot of options. I have 2 Stream Deck XLs for my streaming setup. Why, you ask? Because overkill is the spice of life. Honestly, it's because I don't like using the pages that much, so I just bought 2 of them. And it looks badass. Justification achieved. Here's the biggest difference. When you plug in the Stream Deck Plus, it automatically unlocks the Wavelink software. Do you know what that means? It means that you don't need to have a Wave mic, you don't need to have a Wave XLR to use the Wavelink software anymore. I use a Focusrite Scarlett for all my recording on my Mac Studio, and this will actually recognize it as an interface on my Mac. It's actually more accurate to say that the Wavelink will recognize it as an interface. However, I can use the Stream Deck to take physical control over the Wavelink software. That's what I was trying to get at. Back to you, Cody. This would essentially make my Mac Studio a second streaming rig option for me with a fully functional audio mixer and built-in Stream Deck. I could use whatever XLR mic I want. I could use the Wave DX. I could use this RE20 and I'd be able to control it all with these dials. That can't be done with a Go XLR, which is what I use for my main audio mixer on stream. And I like the Go XLR, but I can't use whichever VST I'd like in the vocal effects, but I can with the Wavelink software. Actually, that's why I was really excited when Elgato released the Wave XLR, because I could combine any XLR mic with the Wavelink software. But unfortunately, it didn't have enough I/O for my guitar to go in, so I had to keep using the Go XLR. But this plus my Focusrite kind of changes that, because if I wanted to, I could just ditch the Go XLR, use the Focusrite for my vocals and my guitar, and I would control everything with the Stream Deck Plus dials. I might actually have to set this up to make sure that that works. I'm gonna do that. And I know this is a Stream Deck, but I want to set streaming aside for the moment. As soon as I got this, I plugged it into my Mac Studio, which is where I do all my video edits. And this is going to be a permanent fixture in my editing station. So on the first page of my Stream Deck Plus, I have all the buttons at the top launching the applications that I use most frequently. The dials at the bottom actually control individual apps on the Mac, which is incredible in and of itself. Because normally you can't do that, you just have the one system volume. And the second page is filled with tools to use in Final Cut Pro. Having the customizable buttons and knobs allows me to have easy access and control various functions and features within the software that saves me time and effort as I work. You can control things like audio levels, video effects, do color correction, a whole lot more. It allows me to make precise adjustments without having to dig through a menu or remember keyboard shortcuts. So not only is this great for streamers, but it's awesome for video editors as well. Don't get me wrong, I love and hate the Magic Mouse. Look at this. After a while, this hurts to use. So if I can replace any actions on that with actions on this, I'm gonna take it. And while I use Final Cut Pro, I've seen a lot of companies out there developing Stream Deck Plus profiles for DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro. Is it Premiere Pro? Adobe Premiere? Yeah. And on the audio side, I just saw that BarRaider announced a plugin for OBS. Yeah, OBS Tools now supports modifying and muting OBS audio sources via the Stream Deck Plus dials. Oh, and this will also support Voice Meter if you use that. This is definitely one of the coolest things that Elgato's ever put out. I'm probably going to end up with a second one. I will have an affiliate link for the Stream Deck Plus in the video description if you want to pick one up. I can't recommend it enough. It's a really great tool. Let me know in the comments if you're getting one of these, if you're going to use it more for streaming or more for video editing. I hope you had an amazing holiday. Thank you so much for watching. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.